Hey guys, Solomon here. Welcome back to Let's Play Prison Architect. Last time I said I would be back once I had saved up enough money for the next step of my prison. And although I said that 20,000 would be my ultimate goal there, I decided that 5,000 would be enough for me to at least increase my prison's productivity a little bit, enough to make that 20,000 a little easier to save up. In addition to that, there's been 2 updates to the game since last time, so I think we're a little overdue to take a look at the new content anyway. So let's start by taking a look at Alpha 13. Now, Alpha 13 introduced 2 major things, and the first of those things ties in with something introduced in Alpha 12, Contraband. If you recall, Contraband basically gave prisoners the option of being able to steal things from different rooms of the prison. Stuff like narcotics, weapons, tools, and stuff like that. However, these items never really gave the prisoners much of anything except a new way to get in trouble. However, because of Alpha 13, they now have a new means of using the tools. Basically, they can now dig escape routes. So, let's say, for instance, one of these guys has a high freedom desire, or they miss their family, or they have some other reason to either hate this prison or want to escape. If they can get themselves a tool from the workshop, from the storage room, or anywhere else, and can stash it into their room, at night they will actually try to dig an escape tunnel out of the prison. Now, I believe if you're keeping an eye on them, that you can catch them in the act. However, something that's been introduced in Alpha 14 makes it a lot easier to find these escape tunnels, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But to stay on topic with Alpha 13, let's talk about the other thing that this update introduced, which we can see by going into Bureaucracy. Basically, it introduced the Policy Report. This is basically another tab for the Reports menu, which allows you to assign punishments to misconduct, increase or decrease how bad the punishments are, and also allow automatic searches of the misbehaving prisoner and his cell. So, this is a really nice thing to have, and I'm going to go ahead and get it. I'm not really sure how often I'm going to use it, honestly, because, I don't know, I'm not really expecting any trouble in my prison, but at the very least, it wouldn't hurt to at least have the option available. Now, before I move on to talking about Before I start talking about Alpha 14, let me talk about a little bit of a bug that kind of exists with Alpha 13 and 14. Now, in Alpha 13, this was a lot more prominent, and it's still kind of here in Alpha 14. If you may have noticed, I went from intaking 8 prisoners to intaking 18. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a problem with the number of prisoners you'll take in per day. And I'm not quite sure why that is. It was a lot worse in Alpha 13, however, because basically if you do what I'm about to do, which is turn off prisoner intake, then the number of incoming prisoners, which was right now 18, for every day that you have prisoner intake turned off, that number will increase. It kind of accumulates per day. So instead of having like a constant 8 per day come in, and just turning that off temporarily and then take in 8 per day after you turn it back on, it will build them up over time. It's kind of like holding back a flood, is I think the best way to put it. And as you can probably guess, this is a really, really bad thing to have in a prison of any size. I mean, I'm sure if I had a much smaller prison and was stretching out my money a lot further, then probably I would be able to support the capacity to maybe handle such a strange prisoner intake method. Mind you, this is only with non-continuous intake where you have the option to turn off intake, but yeah, I mean, the point is just that it's really stupid. Like I said, though, they did kind of fix this in 14, where it will jump back down to, like, low numbers, like 6 to 9. But it seems really kind of random still. Like, sometimes they'll still jump up to 18 or something, so at the very least... Oh, what happened here? Hold on. Why is someone awaiting solitary confinement? I know a few people set off the alarm, but what happened? Who's in trouble? Who's in trouble? Oh, what's this? Oh! Someone brought in a hammer with them. Well, that's not good. Oh, they have a nice little icon here to actually show that the item is there, and apparently it just disappeared. Oh, what? We got another weapon? A shotgun? What the fuzz? You know, this is actually a good question. These are people who have been arrested, put through a trial, and then brought to a prison. So, surely they would have been searched before they even arrived here. How are they smuggling this stuff in? What, did they stick it up their butts? I don't know. Something about this whole smuggling items in thing just doesn't seem right to me. Well, in any case, it looks like all the items have been taken care of, at least for now, so... Right, where was I? Well, I guess I pretty much gave my whole little statement there about the whole prisoner intake bug and how it's been kind of fixed. So, I guess in that respect, we can go on to talking about Alpha 14 a little bit. So, the biggest thing that Alpha 14 added, which has to do with the escape tunnels, is dogs. Now, in order to get dogs, we have to unlock patrols, which I could have sworn used to be a part of deployment by default, but now it's just its own separate thing. I don't know. I guess patrols was still kind of under construction at the time, so we'll just let that slide, and we'll start working on that as well. Oh good, it didn't turn on Bang Up. Well, that's really good. I swear, every time I'm in that bureaucracy menu, I'm always afraid that I'm going to accidentally turn on bureaucracy. And while I'm thinking about it, one thing I want to do real fast is increase that productivity that I was talking about. So, on that note, let's throw in another workshop saw and a workshop press. Unfortunately, you cannot rotate these things, so yeah, this is going to look a little awkward in the layout, but whatever. So now we'll resume time so that they can get to work. And this should effectively double the productivity of the workshop, because we have 4 people working in there right now, but only 2 of them ever seem to be working at a time. And let's turn up the speed while we're at it, so I'm not just waiting around a long time. Alright, so now everyone's moving. One thing you might be noticing, well, 2 things you might be noticing, is that the prisoners are actually doing laundry now. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, they did laundry before, but no one was taking any of the uniforms. Well, that's not true. They're actually using the uniforms now. Why they're using the uniforms now and not earlier, I don't know if this was something that was simply fixed in Alpha 13, or if it was just a bug during the recording. I don't know, but they're using uniforms again, so clothing is no longer a huge issue anymore. In fact, it's hardly an issue at all. Another thing you might also notice is that these guys are finally cleaning the cells. Not just the guys picking up the uniforms, but I believe it's these guys here, the janitorial staff. Oh. I guess that little ding means someone got out of solitary confinement. Well, that's good. But yeah, as you can see, they're actually cleaning the kitchen and everything. Now, the reason these guys were actually holed up, why they were not cleaning the prison and were just hanging around in the cleaning cupboard, it turns out this is kind of a bug as well, and I'm not sure if 14 has fixed this. But if you go into, let's see, deployment here, and you set certain areas to staff only, obviously your prisoners will not be able to go into those areas. However, that will not stop them from queuing up cleaning jobs in those areas. So, in that respect, if you have any area of your prison that is getting dirty, and you do not have any janitors to actually clean that up in place of the prisoners, then well, yeah, it's just going to cause a lot of backup, and it's not fun for anyone. So yeah, by disabling all these areas and making them general population again, these guys, they're allowed back there, and they can finally clean up the prison and make everything nice and spotless. Which, on that note, segues into another thing that Alpha 13 added, which I kind of looked over because it wasn't really anything to worry about. Oh no, I think the ding was actually for the policy report. Okay, never mind. But anyway, moving on to needs. There's a few new needs here from what I can see. The first one is environment. This is pretty much the same as clothing, in that prisoners will get more and more uncomfortable about the environment the dirtier it is. So, as long as you keep your prison clean, you don't have to worry about that. And I forgot to plug these things in. So, let's go to utilities, and let's do that real fast. And why did you build that there? Wait a sec, something's not right here. Okay, let's dismantle the work press and let's try to get it fixed. And also put an electrical cable here while we're at it. I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting off topic because I'm trying to fix everything here. But anyway, environment. It actually works. I'm not kidding when I say it works exactly like clothing, because where clothing is something that will get into the high category but never the critical, environment is pretty much the same thing. It's never something that the prisoners will riot over. So, you could let your prison get as dirty as you want, and they're not going to say a word about it. Nevertheless, I like to have a clean prison, so we're going to leave the prison cleaning staff on duty for now, and we'll keep this open to the general public, at least until I think I can afford to have a separate set of janitors. So, on that note... Oh yeah, the other need is privacy, and I don't remember if this was actually new or not. It's basically just the stat which says how comfortable the prisoners are about how often they are searched, how tight the security is. If they think they're being oppressed too much, then, or if they're being searched or spied on too much, then the privacy goes up, and obviously they don't like that. So, that's just kind of that. I guess since we have policies now, let's take a look at that. So, let's see. So this is the punishment report. So, destruction of property results in lockdown. So, the prisoner basically gets locked up in their cell, I guess. Escape attempt is locked down. Attacked prisoner is locked down. Attacked staff is solitary. Serious injury is solitary. Found weapons is solitary. Found drugs is solitary. Found tools is lockdown. Whereas luxuries are not really a punishment at all. They just get their luxuries confiscated. Okay, so that's not too bad. I can allow that, I guess. But we can't have them to have weapons or tools. So if we find a prisoner with a weapon or a tool, then we will automatically search them and their cell. As for drugs, You know what? Let's go ahead and do that as well. Yeah, I think that'll do for now. I'm sure we might want to search the cells of prisoners who... Yeah, we definitely want to... For escape attempts, we do want to search them in case they have tools on them. For attacking staff... Maybe? For attacking prisoners... We'll search his cell, but not the prisoner. You know what? Let's just leave it at this. Because... why not? I think that'll do. I don't know. I don't know proper search procedure, honestly. Maybe I'll do some research into it. Who knows? No new grants. Valuation. Now here is another thing that Alpha 14 actually added. And this is actually something that's really nice. Basically, you can now sell your prison. And what this basically allows is... when you meet the 3 conditions that are listed there, which I've already passed for this prison, it basically allows you to sell your prison and take all the profit and put it toward your next prison. So what this is basically a New Game Plus of a sort. So, the better you make your prison, the more you can sell it for, and the more you can sell it for, the better off you'll be when you start your next prison. Now, I don't want to sell this prison quite yet, because I'm thinking of saving that for when I might do a challenge prison. Now, this is an idea I've actually been running for a while now, which is that sometime in the future I will... Hold on a second, let me just put down this workshop press in the right position now. Just to make sure that gets inserted correctly, sorry. But yeah, an idea I've been having for a while now is, once I'm done with Galaxia Penitentiary, I might take up a challenge prison idea or two. The general premise of this idea is that you, the viewers, will be allowed to give me a set of conditions. And the idea is I have to design a prison that will meet those conditions. So it's pretty much the same thing what I'm doing now, except you guys get to choose the conditions. So maybe I have to make a prison for nothing but max level convicts. Maybe I have to go so many days without doing something particular. Maybe I have to deny them certain luxuries and still keep them happy. I don't know. The challenge is just that I have to be able to have a challenge in building the prison. Now, obviously, if I'm going to do this, I want the challenges to be fair. You know, they have to be feasible. I'm not going to do, like, hold 20 max level prisoners in a single holding cell. I don't think that's possible, even if I have enough beds for all of them. Because I think they will want their private cells, and that is just going to make everyone a little bit unhappy. So, yeah, that's at least my future plans for this project, maybe, if not everything works out for this one. Well, everything will work out for this prison. Everything has been going pretty smoothly, honestly. One thing I do want to do, well, a prisoner is going to be released in 5 hours, so I don't think I have to worry particularly about the number of beds. But just to make sure, let me double check what my regime was. Okay, so they're still awake at 10, so this guy will be released before then. I suppose one thing I should point out... what? Wait. Why is the danger increasing? What's going on? Prisoners need sleep. Well, you should have slept before you arrived here, guys, because... I don't know. Well, then again, you're getting a little break here in, like, an hour, so you can probably sleep in the intervening time if you want. I don't know, I'm gonna keep an eye on these jokers. Something gives me a bad feeling in my gut here, like something bad's gonna happen if I'm not careful. Who are the prisoners who are actually complaining? This guy's kind of upset. Wait, what? Why is your privacy so high? Oh, wait, that's because you were suppressed. Yeah, you're one of the guys who was sneaking something into the prison. Well, no crap, we're not giving you any privacy. You tried to sneak something in. Alright, well, in any case, we shouldn't have to worry. I don't think these guys will riot immediately over any of this stuff. Oh, crap. Actually, the danger is rising pretty fast. Shoot. How many of these guys, some over food, some over sleep. I'm actually a little worried now. There's a chance they might actually riot. I don't know how high the danger level can get, but it's currently at low. Oh shit, now we got 5 prisoners complaining. This could get interesting, folks. We might actually have a serious outbreak of violence or something. Though they are in free time right now, so they do have a chance to settle any complaints they have at the moment, and once nighttime comes, I think any troubles they have with sleep will be addressed then as well. Let's just wait this out. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, sir. What do you have on you right now? Probably just a luxury. Okay. Oh, shit. Danger level is medium. I think this is actually the point where things could get seriously bad if we're not careful. However, it is mealtime, so there is a chance we'll be knocking down the danger... Oh, come on. Alright, buddy. What did you take from the workshop? Nothing. So I guess it's just a luxury. Unnecessarily searched recently. But you set off the alarm. It's for everyone's safety, buddy. Okay, it's going down. So it means a lot of people who were hungry are now compliant. So that is good. And one of these guys is due for release. So we will have enough prisoners to fill all the beds. And the danger level's going down, so everything seems to be okay. We just have to wait 3 hours for everyone to go to bed, and the whole situation will be suppressed. Good. Good. So, I'm trying to think about what I was talking about earlier. Yep, see, it's going down. So I think we're safe for now. I don't remember what I was talking about earlier. I don't know, once the danger level started getting serious, I kind of forgot about everything else. Right, something in reports. I believe it was in regime. Yeah, I was about to talk about how I've switched up the schedule here slightly. So, I decided to add an extra hour of work to kind of max out the profit I would make per day, at least a little bit. However, something I've found out is that, from what I can tell, these guys tend to sweat up a storm if they have to work 8 hours straight. So what I decided to do is give them 4 hours of work and then a little lunch break period to kind of shower off or to relax or anything of the sort, and then another 4 hours of work. So far, it seems like that's working out pretty well. I have yet to get any complaints about it at the moment. If anything, this is the closest we've gotten to riding so far, but the danger level is low and it's not changing at the moment, so I think we'll be fine. Yeah, it's going down even further, so yeah, once these guys go to bed, we should be fine.